Hello everyone, welcome back to a very special video. We have here the very first non-American car on the channel. This is a 1985 Honda Acty Street. Here to talk to us about it is its owner, Automo.
Hi.
Let's get right into the video. Alright, so this van isn't quite like anything else I've seen before. So this is actually imported from Japan, right, Automo? So.
Yeah, there's a really southern prefecture, Fukuoka. So it was in Japan a year and a half ago. I have the export certificate too. So.
Yeah, so recently imported over. It's an 85, like I said, so it meets all the regulations. You can get it registered and everything. It's street legal to drive here.
The 25-year rule.
Yeah. So, they only sold it in Japan. Automo had it imported over. This meets certain regulations, right? So it's like a K car, right?
Yeah,
for Japan.
It's a K car, yeah.
So what does that mean then, as that?
It fits K cars that basically mean they fit minimalistic road conditions.
Okay.
And this only fits Japanese standards for road conditions.
Oh, okay.
And so I had to make sure it had legality for the 25-year rule. Anything over 25 years doesn't have to meet American standards to have it imported. And it's the only reason why I can run on the road today in New Jersey.
Neat.
And not every state can let these cars run on the road. Every state has their own legality and rules and whatnot, but New Jersey has no written rule about it so far.
Wow, really? You can actually drive it in New Jersey?
Yeah,
and not other states, that's rare.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a K car, not to be confused with Chrysler's K cars, but rather that it actually fits certain regulations and, fits in the category of a K van, I guess, in this case. So basically it means it's really small, and we'll do a size comparison later because I don't think that quite translates to the video, but this is a tiny vehicle. But it's also seriously unique and different, so we'll talk about some of the stuff on here. So the model this is a Honda Acty Street L, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so what does the Street L part of that mean?
The Street L, no clue, not even the manual kind of defines that.
Okay.
But the Acty is short for activity, and so they just slap that on there and say
Oh,
Acty.
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, the Street L, I guess, is just their...
Just to be cool.
Just to be cool on their upgraded version of the regular Acty.
Gotcha. Well, you probably get stripes with that. It's part of the street package.
The stripe.
But that is neat. I love the stripe. Though I'm wondering, I don't know if you know this, do you know why they have it in American as street versus like Japanese letters on there? Or
The Asian countries love English lettering.
Really?
Just as much as Americans love having Japanese characters tattooed to them.
Interesting.
So a lot of their cars or a lot of certain t-shirts have American letterings on them. And they, boom.
So you have just,
street right there.
That's cool. Yeah, so even this was never sold in America, you still have American, or English I should say, on there. That's cool. I like that. But also, you're probably thinking, as a Japanese only car, you can see this is right-hand drive. If we just open up the door here, check this out. You are driving on the different side of the vehicle. And I have not driven this yet. I know you've driven it, Automo. How is it to drive on the different side of the car, on the right-hand side?
Oh man, it's a really unique experience. Like at first, you find yourself hugging one side of the road more than the other, just because you're getting used to it and whatnot. But eventually, you get used to it, and it's a really fun ride when you on that far from away from other cars.
Yeah, you're just farther away from oncoming traffic, and it must be weird too being the passenger. Because you just have cars coming at you. I'd probably freak out, but definitely cool. You can see you sit right above the front wheels. I mean, it's all about space saving in this car, which brings me to another point. This car is actually mid-engine, so the engine is right in the middle here, right?
Yes, actually, if you want to open it up.
Yeah. So let's take a look at this. Behold the sliding doors, by the way, which is pretty awesome. And so you sit literally right on top of this little engine. So that's your compartment there. It's really cool, but also in line, I think, with the K car standards, it has to meet a certain displacement. So this is a tiny engine. Do you know the exact size of it in here?
It's 445 cc's and tiny.
Yeah, so that's less than a liter. It is a small engine. It makes, I think you said about 30 horsepower earlier, right?
32 to 38 horsepower.
So, granted, this is a very light car, so you don't need that much horsepower, but it is By, I think, most American standards, it's not a lot of horsepower, but I'm sure it'll get you around.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and also four-wheel drive, right, on this?
Yes,
So you got the
this
four-wheel drive option?
It does have the four-wheel drive option. The little lever is in the middle, right underneath the stick shift. So
That's great.
yeah.
I mean, it's just so cool. You have a four-wheel drive mid-engine van. You just don't see that. So around the back of the van now, first off, you can see one of my favorite parts of this is all of the badging you get along here. It describes everything that this car has. You know, it's the Honda Acty Street L 5-speed four-wheel drive. It's pretty awesome. Also, speaking of which, we didn't talk about the transmission yet. This is a 5-speed manual transmission, right?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, that's awesome. You know, you'd see something you expect it to be like a 3 or a 4-speed. This has a 5-speed, which I think is actually pretty impressive. So we have this other badge down here, actually in Japanese. So what does that badge translate to then?
So that describes how many pounds it can pull, and 350 kilograms is about 700, a little over 700 pounds, right? Yeah. So it pulls about a little over 700 pounds.
That's neat. Yeah,
that's
so
what it
you can
means.
actually tow things with this, and you have written on your tailgate how much you can pull, which is pretty neat. You also have your brake lights all the way down here. So these are the only brake lights, you know, normally they're higher up here, but as you see when we open this entire section is the tailgate. So you couldn't put the taillights on the movable section, so it ended up being down there on the bumper, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, honestly, this has a lot of storage space. I'm impressed with how much space you can fit in here.
Yeah.
And even with, you know, you had the seats folded down, that's even more space. You can fit a good amount in here. And you were telling me earlier, right, this has the option of the higher roof, right?
Yes, so the high roof option came with the late first generation Acty Streets and another line of Honda Actys. But as you can tell, I can sit and I have about a foot worth of headspace. I can totally extend my arm straight and I'm touching the ceiling at that point.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, as small as it is, it's actually pretty convenient. Like, you could fit much more in here than you could in my Dart, which is a substantially bigger vehicle. It's a good use of space in here. Also mention, I love the red interior. That's just cool.
Burgundy red.
Got your rear wiper back here.
Yeah, actually, if you, I forgot to mention. So you know the front has the coolant lid, right?
Yeah, and we'll talk about that when we go
right
up
on there. The second one for the back.
So you have back wiper fluid.
Yeah.
And you fill it up there?
Yeah.
Wow. How does that even get to the wiper?
I believe right here.
Oh, okay, yeah, so it funnels all the way up into here.
But there's also one on the other side, so.
Huh. So like a sprayer up there?
Yeah, right here.
Well, that's just cool. Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
That's really neat. Also, you can see the appropriately small exhaust pipe, which I love.
Yeah, the emissions on this thing is really low because of the
I
Japanese
imagine.
standards.
Yeah, because you have such a small engine and it's such a light car. You probably get like really good gas mileage in this.
Oh yeah, it gets about 35 to 50 miles per gallon depending on how new and what your condition your car is
50
in.
miles per gallon.
There's been reports about 50 miles per gallon to these Acty cars.
That's
and
awesome.
trucks.
Huh. How about that? So coming around here, there's nothing too different on this side of the van. Obviously, the steering wheel is not here, which still is a little weird to adjust to. But again, just the size of this car, it's kind of funny, but it's really cool. You have 12-inch wheels on here, your little steel wheels. It's so small, but it fits the car. It's a small car. You don't need big wheels, you know?
Nope.
That's neat. So you were telling me you do have plans to put slightly larger wheels on this, right?
Yeah, I do have plans to put slightly larger wheels on it to fit New Jersey road conditions, just to keep it safe and make sure that I am safe on the road. Although I do want to have the original wheels on there, I do want to keep my safety as well, considering that it has no airbags.
Yeah, I mean, if you come over here, you can really see that this is, hold on, let me just close this. This is where your knees go. This is the front of the car. So yeah, you got to be safe in it, but also you're not going to be going too fast anyway.
Nah, no.
But you really do. I mean, it's all about space saving in this car, and you really see that with something like that. So here we have as well the gas cap. So it has some unique functionality. Obviously, it's in a strange place already, right? Have you taken this to get it filled up? And
I've taken it to 2 different gas stations, and I got strange looks from
I'd
the
imagine.
gas attendants.
It's so different. You know, I drive around in the Fiero, and not that many people really care, but I saw just Automo driving in this. Literally everybody on the other side of the road has to turn around and look at this. You just don't see cars like this here. It really stands out. But yeah, so our gas cap locks, right? You were saying?
Yes. So if I open it here, over here you'll see that it has this lock option where I can use my regular key to open it up and just open the gas cap.
That's cool. Gotta love a locking gas cap.
Yeah, it protects me from people that want to cipher my gas.
You never know.
I guess cipher gas is just a thing in the 80s, I guess.
Yeah, maybe it was. I don't
guess.
know. So now up front on this van, you can see one of my favorite features, which is the exterior wiper fluid filler, which is pretty cool. So if you wanted, you could go up and fill wiper fluid in somebody else's van. That's great though. I love that. You got the Honda badge, your headlights. Headlights work good.
Headlights work fine.
Yeah, I mean...
They're glass, not plastic.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Interesting. How about that? Okay, so moving into the back seat of the Honda Acty now. First off, the ground clearance on this is actually pretty good. You have to really step in. You step up as you go into this van. Although once you're inside, again, the headroom with this extended roof is significant. Like I could be like way up here and you still don't hit the ceiling. It's really cool and pretty impressive. But otherwise, you have probably my all-time favorite feature of this car, which is there are no rear back seat belts. Instead, you have the roller coaster style lap bar. I mean, this is just awesome. It's so cool. So apparently this only came on the 80s models. Once you get to the newer models, they replaced this with seat belts. But I mean, how cool is it to have literally a lap bar in the back of your car? I mean, that's just awesome. So now we have Automo in the back seat here, and again, I'm impressed. Like, we're not squished together.
Nope, not
as
at all.
thin as this car is, you have reasonable space. So if you want to go and close the door there, we have another cool feature back here.
Yeah. My windows do open. You just a little latch here and just pull back.
Like school bus.
Like a school, yeah, and it just go forward and back.
That is just so cool.
And every window, every door is labeled with a "Please lock."
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's neat. So these things here, you used to have curtains in here, right?
Yes, this has curtains. The original or other previous owners decided to put a curtain color that didn't match the seats, so I took them off and future plans of putting ones that do match the van.
You got to get the proper burgundy curtains in here.
Indeed.
Okay, so now for the exciting stuff. First off, climbing into the front seat. Again, it's higher up than you think it would be, but we got a lot of cool stuff here as I get my foot in, which Automo will talk me through. Now, no power steering here, I'm assuming, right?
Nope.
Didn't think so. You don't need it. But again, this is where the front wheels are. They are behind you almost, like you're sitting right on top of them. And so your steering comes down and you just have the steering column go straight into the floor. Again, super unique. I haven't seen anything like this. But again, I'm on the wrong side of the car. Super crazy. And we have our 5-speed shifter, which you have to use your left hand with, which already feels super weird. But Automo, so talk us through some of the controls we have up here. What's the center stuff? What's it do?
So the center stuff is your regular heating and AC. It does come with an AC, which is really unique.
Heck yeah.
Which is really unique considering that this is a 2-cylinder engine.
Yeah, you get AC with it.
Yeah.
How's it work?
It's cool air blasts at you a little bit.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Works great. Underneath is the original AM radio.
Cool.
No FM.
Just AM.
Yeah, luckily the previous owners didn't rip it out. Instead, put the newer one underneath the glove box. So, thanks to that. This is one of the only models I can find. Anything past this model has the brake behind the stick. So mine's next to it. And conveniently puts my 4-wheel drive right there when I need to pull it.
Yeah, so this is your 4-wheel drive control, which is really neat.
Yep.
Have you tried that out to put it in 4-wheel drive?
Not yet. I didn't have the need to just yet. Right. But right here inscribed as the instructions on how to use that 4-wheel drive option. So
it's a good thing you can read Japanese.
Yeah. And next to your knee, right in front directly, is the manual choke.
Oh yeah, right here. So this is your actual choke for this engine. That's so cool to have a manual choke on it. It's like a tractor.
And of course the windshield wiper and the turning signal is on the opposite sides.
Yeah. So you were telling me about this. This is your wiper control and then your turn signal control over on this side, where normally that would be flipped for a left-hand drive car.
Yep.
Really neat. So you got your speedometer here, only in kilometers an hour.
Yep. The top one is how many miles you went for today. You can reset to 0 when you press that button.
Okay, yeah, you got your trip odometer.
And the bottom one is the full mileage, obviously. And then on top of the steering wheel, you have your parking lights and your emergency lights. The little latch thing you just push back and forth.
I see. Well, that's cool.
Yeah, and on your opposite knee, you'll have your fuse box, which is that black box right here.
This tiny little fuse box.
Next to it is the sub heater.
So what's the sub heater do?
So the sub heater, when you pull that out, it turns on these back heaters right here, which is these little vents in between the two front seats. So your back passengers have either AC or heating. Heating though,
great.
so.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense because the engine's back there, so
Yeah.
it makes sense you would have a heater too.
Above the sub heater is your rear window washer fluid and windshield wiper and
All your controls.
the defroster.
Yes, the defroster here. That's neat. You got your little storage pocket, some more storage up here.
Yep. I have front vents, and the middle vent, what
Yeah.
looks like a vent, is actually a speaker
Oh, this is a speaker.
up top.
Oh, up here.
Yep.
That's cool. That's neat.
Which still works pretty great.
Nice, nice. So also, while you're over here, just look at the size of these pedals. Appropriately small for a small car. But and again, here's the steering column I was talking about earlier. It goes straight into the floor between your legs. But honestly, though, again, I'm sitting here. I have enough space. Like, you're not crammed in here. I'm genuinely surprised about that. Pretty cool.
All right, so the Acty trucks comes with other safety features such as a road flare. This is the original road flare, still inscribed in Japanese.
That's neat.
And in the manual, it tells you how to use it properly on the road and other safety features you might have to enact when you're pulled over the side of the road or broken down on the side of the road as well. And there's other unique features in the middle.
Yeah, so it is cool. You have this shelf here, which this is the original owner's manual, right?
Yes.
All in Japanese, of course, but that is really cool to still have that. We have the glove box right above it for actually a lot of storage space. Again, there's nothing in front of you, so all of this can be used for storage. A neat little tray here, which is pretty cool. And of course, a lockbox. You have a Honda branded lockbox in the middle of this car, which, again, that's such a cool touch. It's, you know, the same touch as your locking gas cap. You can put your valuable stuff in there. All right, I think that's about everything. It's the little Honda hook. Okay, so with all of that said, let's take it for a drive. Oh, red seatbelts too?
Yeah.
Nice.
And everything comes with a tag. If you if you look at the very bottom on your other side, you see a white tag with a seatbelt, and it says what kind of seatbelt I need and the part number and everything.
Okay, so here we are in the parking lot. I'm not gonna lie, I'm extremely nervous about starting this, but so we got a feeling for the clutch, we got our brake and everything. There's your first gear. Take that off. Okay, now I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing.
Whoop! Let go of the gas. Let go of the gas.
Oh yeah.
You wanna when you lift off your foot off the clutch. You wanna let it roll first. So put pressure your foot on the brake.
Okay.
Right. And that'll lift up your brake a little bit off. Lift your foot off the clutch. Let it roll a little bit.
Oh, I see.
See how it rolls? When it rolls off.
Give it gas.
Yeah.
Okay. And the second.
Oh, you roll smoother in a second than I do.
Oh, this is so cool. Okay, try for third. Oh yeah. Oh, this is funny.
It's great riding passenger. This is fun.
It drives nice, I tell you what. It's not like rattly or shaky. You can get used to it, but yeah, I see what you mean about driving it. It kind of, you're like in a boat. It's funny. All right. Oh, yep, they're on this side. There we go. In second. Oh, I'm just cracking up. This is so cool.
Once it's over 40 kilometers, you want to be in fourth.
Okay, gotcha. When is usually a good time to go into fifth?
So you'll hear the engine roar a little bit louder. Once you're above 60, you'll hear the engine cry a little bit. That's when you want to go into fifth.
Okay. It's all about the feeling.
It's all about the noise, too.
Yeah, yeah.
What you hear it for. It's a little loud, too, because there's no really sound barrier in between you and that engine beneath you.
On the brakes. Oh, I forgot what side of the road I was on. We're fine. I'm not gonna lie, this is mildly terrifying being on this side of the car. Oh man. Oh yeah, and we're in kilometers too. That's right. So I have honestly no idea how fast I'm going. Oh, you got it written down. That's a good idea. So everybody else thinks that they're, JDM fans with their imported cars, but this is a true JDM car.
Yeah.
It doesn't get more Japanese than this, I think.
And apparently the front face is categorized as OEM, which I have no idea what it abbreviates for, but all the categories I found on the internet was OEM, JDM, JDM.
Oh, interesting. Yeah,
So
I'm not sure what that means.
It accounts for the flat face.
Mm-hmm.
So if you ever look on the road and see these Isuzu trucks that you see working, they're OEM cars because they're flat-faced apparently, I guess.
Interesting. Okay.
But there's American made on a left-hand drive.
Yeah. It rides really, I'm seriously impressed because you think it's a little city car, it'll be, real harsh and kind of banging and stuff, but there's no rattling, there's no, crazy noises. You can't hear the engine back there, which is kind of cool because it's behind you.
Yeah.
But honestly, it's great to drive. This is so cool. Again, I don't have any cars coming at me right now, so I'm not too scared. But that was pretty terrifying.
This thing is great for the country road. It's so nice going through a rural area with this thing.
Mm-hmm. This is so different from everything else I've driven. Yeah, so we were talking a little earlier, you could get this in a few different configurations, right? So you could get this in a pickup truck form.
Yes, there is the K Trucks, which comes with a flatbed pickup.
That's neat.
And there is a very, very unique pickup truck. There is ones out there that comes with the dump truck, where the bed lifts.
Oh, that's cool.
These cars are made for workmen people.
Okay.
Commonly, you'll see construction crew use these K-vans and K-trucks, and they're built to be daily drives.
Oh, okay.
For their companies and stuff.
Yeah. So this was already imported, right, when you bought it?
Yes. I found this originally in Tennessee. The website is still up on Bring a Trailer.
Okay.
So you can see more pictures there if you'd like. Then I had to follow it around, and I found it in Detroit, Michigan. And then I bought it there.
There we go.
At a car broker. Yeah, the turning is really slow.
The gears are real tight. You got to get used to it.
Yeah. So I just got used to not caring about the person behind me and being in a rush.
You kind of have to, because you got to be careful with the clutch and everything.
Yeah. So I just got used to not caring for the person behind me. Every once in a while you get that guy who's really up on your butt, and he's not aware of the rollback these things get.
Right.
But every once in a while you get a guy who goes, whoa, look at that car, I should probably stay back a little bit.
So I was driving this expecting to be like, oh my gosh, this is so slow. It doesn't feel that slow though. I don't know if it's because I'm like terrified a little bit, but it doesn't feel like, oh my gosh, this thing doesn't move,
Take it 80. You're in fifth, take it 80.
All right, here we go. Yeah, it'll go.
Currently you're going about 43 miles per hour.
It feels like I'm going like 65 right now, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. 80 is where it hits the 50 mark.
Oh, okay.
Alright, I'm flooring it in fifth.
Here we go.
Once it hits 90, let go of the gas. There it goes. So that lets you know you're going too fast.
Oh yeah, you hear the beeping. This car actually has I don't know what you call it, a speed warning. That's so cool. But gears are easy to find. I mean, it's not like except that one time I tried to put in third, but.
Yeah, fifth is the tricky part because it has that spring load in it for reverse.
Oh yeah.
So it's like you really can't find 5.
There we go, that's a good start. Oh my gosh, shifting with my left hand is still so strange. So this has got 6,000 original miles on it?
That's the miles that I put on it. So it had 5,420 kilometers on it.
Oh right, kilometers. I didn't even think about that.
So that translates to, I think, 3,000 original miles.
It looks like it has that few miles on it. Like, this is still in really good shape.
All the websites that had that number on it, too, it didn't have any history of it, if it rolled over or not.
Cool. Yeah. Of course, we have our roll-up windows here. Oh, no. There we go.
I get that a lot.
Yeah, I guess it comes with the car. Oh man. But you know, while I was driving behind you, I'm like, oh man, this thing's going so slow. But when you're in the car, you don't feel like you're going that slow.
Yeah, but it's gonna be my daily drive car.
Good for you. That's so cool.
If I don't treat this car like a daily drive car, it'll fall apart. Because they're built.
Interesting.
They're built to be daily drives.
Right. Yeah, they're built to be driven all the time. So how's it riding shotgun in your car?
Oh man. I'm a little used to it because I drive shotgun on this side in Japan, but being in the being in the American side with the cars coming at you, yeah, it is a little terrifying.
I'm scared driving, and I'm far from the other cars. So you were saying there's only what 18 of these in the entire country that have been imported?
Carsonly.com has apparently reported that there's only 18 on record for them.
Wow.
That they know of, at least. Yeah, and I was like, wow, 1 out of 18.
Yeah, like not just in New Jersey, all of America. Like that's impressive.
The import records for America. They have 18 in record on their website.
How about that? Well, thank you for trusting me to drive your car.
No problem.
That was a lot of fun and also kind of scary, but definitely a unique experience. All right, that wraps up today's video, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for Automo letting me borrow his car.
Yeah, no problem.
I mean, it's such a unique experience. It's so cool you were able to get this as your normal car. Having something different like that is it's certainly an awesome thing. We have my Dart here just to give you guys a little comparison on the size of this. This is how small this car is. The Dart is not a huge car. It's your generally, average sized American car. And look at how much shorter this is and how much narrower. But yeah, definitely, I mean, that's the first time I've driven on the other side of the car. Thank you for that experience.
Yeah, no problem.
And I'll see you later.